He is absolutely the childhood nightmare of countless people, and also one of the best in the monster horror genre. Its realistic special effects and grounded story setting can still dominate countless similar films even today. The story takes place in a mysterious sea region in the southern part of our country. A luxurious cruise ship is racing through a violent storm. On board are top-tier billionaires from all over the world, dressed in lavish outfits and immersed in an extravagant party. But in such a noisy crowd, there are always a few unusual individuals. In just a single moment, Ellie successfully steals the captain's wallet and uses his ID card to open the vault door. However, all of this turns out to be a trap set by the captain. Ellie is quickly caught red-handed and locked up in solitary confinement. But this seemingly unfortunate encounter accidentally saves her life. Meanwhile, the creature approaching the ship at an astonishing speed. Then, with a massive bang, the entire cruise ship shakes violently. Passengers in the hull fall from great heights, and the scene descends into chaos. When things settle, a strange screeching sound echoes throughout the hall. Fear instantly grips in the chaos. Many are trampled to death. A short-haired woman hides in the restroom, but she soon realizes something is wrong. The toilet drain keeps getting larger and larger, until it violently sucks her in. Not far from the cruise ship, a small boat is struggling through the storm. On board is a group of mercenaries from around the world. Simon, the experienced captain, can immediately tell these people are dangerous, but tempted by the money, she chooses to turn a blind eye. However, the ship's mechanic lets her curiosity get the better of her. She secretly sneaks into the cargo hold and discovers that what the mercenaries are transporting is torpedoes. She is quickly caught and brutally beaten. At the critical moment, Simon arrives with a weapon, and the two sides face off in a tense standoff. But since the mercenaries can't sail the ship without Simon, their leader backs down. Unexpectedly, the boat collides with a large wreck mid-journey, causing the engine to break down. Worse, there are no replacement parts on board. Just as everyone is losing hope when a corpse suddenly floats up from the water. She is startled and completely unaware of the danger approaching from behind. At the same time, Ellie wakes up from unconsciousness in the storage room. Hearing something moving through the pipes, she panics and uses a hairpin to break the lock, then escapes. Still determined, she heads back to the vault, and walks right into the mercenaries. The captain grabs Ellie by the throat and demands to know where the other people on the ship are. But Ellie is just as confused. At this point, one of the mercenaries, Xiao takes the card from Ellie's hand and opens the vault door. Just as she is overjoyed at the prospect of getting rich, money, the mercenaries open fire without hesitation, turning the survivors inside into Swiss cheese. Only the boss and the ship's captain, hiding on the sides, escape. Xiao Hei's death enrages the captain. He demands to know why the boss shot people without reason. The boss says he simply mistook them for monsters. As the two argue, Ellie quietly slips away. Meanwhile, Simon and the others reach the engine room of the cruise ship, looking for usable parts. One of the mercenaries is drawn by a sound in the distance and goes to investigate. "What the hell is that?" Another mercenary, suspecting Simon and the others are behind it, points his gun at them, but before anything can be resolved, he is Simon and the mechanic flee desperately, and manage to seal a valve just in time, barely escaping. When they reach the elevator, they run into the fleeing Ellie. As the roars of the creature echo above them, all three are terrified. Then they run straight into the captain again, unknown creature. Fortunately, the boss and the ship's captain confirm that a terrifying creature does indeed exist on board, though the mercenary captain remains skeptical. Just then, the elevator violently shakes and begins to plummet uncontrollably from the 10th floor all the way down to the 3rd basement level. One of the team members accidentally crushes a skull underfoot. The creature hears it and attacks again. Simon and the captain lay down suppressive fire while rapidly retreating. Everyone hides in a relatively safe storage room. Ellie suggests having the captain send a distress signal, but the captain reveals that the communication system was deliberately sabotaged. Simon remembers how the communication with the cruise ship was sure from everyone. The boss finally comes clean. To build and operate this luxury cruise ship, he had spent almost every last penny. To avoid losing everything, he had arranged with the mercenaries to stage an inside job, then blow up the ship with torpedoes so he could collect a massive insurance payout. But the creature's appearance completely derailed his plan. "You despicable lousy!" As the two argue, a few drops of slime fall on the mechanic fire, but after being hit, the tentacle spits out a half-digested human body. Only half a head remains, and the body is horribly corroded. The man's agonized screams push everyone's fear. Ellie steps forward and manages to drive the creature away. On the other side, the ship's captain is not so lucky. A tentacle wraps around his ankle. Simon and Ellie try to save him but fail, helplessly watching as he is swallowed by the creature. Witnessing all of this, the boss pieces together the creature's origin. He explains it is a soft-bodied organism known as the Atoya, which typically lives in the deep sea. At 4,000 feet, it can only grow to the size of a golf ball. But below 20,000 feet, it can grow large enough to swallow. And then they eat you, right? No, they drink you. They drink you alive, sucking all the fluids out of your body before excreting the skeletal remains. Upon learning all of this, everyone decides to retreat to the small boat and leave as quickly as possible. But the only route to the exit is already flooded with seawater. Simon takes the captain and another mercenary to scout ahead, while the others wait in place. However, the creature soon tracks the sounds and gives chase. The group can only cover each other and keep fleeing, but the one who falls behind, Old Faye, is nowhere to be seen.